9 matches, 8 championship matches, a hometown dream main event, and one question the IWC will fight about until the bell ring. Does All In feel like AEW's WrestleMania? This is my complete All In excitement meter. Every match ranked, in my personal opinion, what I think is I'm more excited about in the matchup, every score out of a 5. And every score can open up for debate. You guys can tell me your thought, your ratings as well, and you can put your rating in the comments or as we go. So let's open the meter with number 1, then work through the card from top to bottom. Welcome to the Tea Drop, where the brew is strong and there's lots to talk about. So here's how I'm going to do it, and I'll explain it so you guys can follow through. The meter. Each match receives 5 beats. How we got here, my score, my personal score out of 5 in terms of excitement meter. Why it earned that score, your rating in the chat, you guys can follow through. And the final question, is this the one? If names are still missing, we obviously don't have it revealed because at the time of this recording, the Go Home show hasn't premiered yet. So we still have some open debates, but we can try to guess what may be the other side of that match, and we'll go through that one. But for the most part, those scores may remain provisional, meaning it might change. We don't have that certainty, but we'll just work through it. And unfortunately, I couldn't find a decent match card graphics for each of the matches. So we are going to use the SmackDown Hotel, shout out to the SmackDown Hotel, to break down each of these cards. So let's start with the number 1 match that probably everyone's going to be talking about. And it's obviously the AEW World Championship match between Kenny Omega, the AEW World Champion, versus the Owen Hart Tournament winner, Will Ospreay. Now, for me, my personal score of excitement is obviously 5 out of 5 for this match. And here's how we got here when it comes to this match. Ospreay won the 2026 Men's Owen Hart Tournament and secure an AEW World Championship match in his home country of London, England. At Redemption on July 26, Kenny Omega successfully defended against TNT champion Kevin Knight. The Death Riders attacked Omega after that match. Ospreay rejected Jon Moxley's order, struck Moxley, cleared the ring, and shared a moment with Omega. Then Omega hit Ospreay with the one-winged angel anyway, on this previous weeks of Dynamite. On the August 19 episode of Dynamite in Baltimore, Renee Paquette hosted the sit-down interview between those two. If you haven't checked it out, the link will be in the description. They revisited their first meeting in PWG in 2015. They discussed forgiveness without either man truly forgiving anything. Omega goaded Ospreay into returning and drove him through a table with a one-winged angel to close this week's Dynamite show. Then on Collision from Reading on August 22nd, AEW aired the full long road travel history video package with Nigel McGuinness delivering the British wrestling message to Ospreay, his grandfather, the children who has never watched an English AEW World Champion win at home, the warning that Ospreay career cannot move forward if he fails at Wembley. The meter is 5 out of 5 for me with all this in place. Why? Because a hometown dream main event with real personal heat. The Owen Cup path, the redemption betrayal beat, the table one-winged angel spot, the history package between these two, the stadium mythology, the best available single styles, and a championship capable of moving the company into the next era. Nothing else on the card clears all three at once. Now, if you guys want, drop your thoughts in the comment about this one. Is this the one for you? Yes, this is the poster. This is why Wembley, to me, is the story. Now, if AEW has a WrestleMania level main event in 2026, it is Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. Kyle Fletcher, the international champion, versus Konosuke Takeshita versus Kazuchika Okada for the international championship. Now, my score for this match, and I know people will be heated about this, and I'm sure they will go crazy about this, but for now, it's a 4.5 out of 5. Don't kill me, guys. How dare you? Should have been 5. I'm not Dave Meltzer, so leave me alone. 4.5 out of 5. Here's how we got here when it comes to this match. Now, Kyle Fletcher retained against Brodito at Redemption a few weeks ago. Okada's long international championship reign ended when Takeshita defeated him at Double or Nothing, which was a great match, by the way. If you haven't watched it, please do. Fletcher later captured the championship after Double or Nothing. Don Callis forced the 3-way so that the title would remain inside the family. Fletcher hated the optics. Okada's position was simple. If Kyle keeps the title, fine. If Okada wins it, Kyle raises his hand. Now, on Dynamite August 19th show, Takeshita returned during Fletcher's promo. He did a Blue Thunder Bomb, a Poison Aura, Raging Fire. Takeshita held the championship over Fletcher. And Okada did not make the save. That is the family fracture captured on camera right then and there. Now, we can place 3 elite styles inside Wembley. Fletcher's white hot pace, Takeshita's collision power, and Okada's Rainmaker geometry. Now, why did I rate it this 4.5 out of 5? Well, 3 elite styles in one match, with the Callis family breaking apart in public. The match of the night ceiling potential for this one is real. It misses 0.5 only because this is not the poster match of All In this year, and the family's internal title politics will mean less to casual viewers than Omega versus Ospreay. But anyway, chat, do you guys think this is the one? For me, it's not the main event, but it could steal the show as the best match of the night. Now, if you remember, only 2 matches on Monday. This one is fighting for the second spot. Willow Nightingale, the AEW's World Champion, versus Mercedes Moné for the Women's World Championship. Now, for me, this is a 4.5 also out of 5. I'm being very nice this today, and I'm sure people will not appreciate it. They're like, yeah, you should be rating it down. My opinion. You guys are more welcome to put your opinion in the comments. Please do. But anyway, Mercedes earned this championship match opportunity by winning this year's Women's Owens Hart Cup for the second time in a row. Last year she won it, and she lost at All In last year against Toni Storm. So now she is trying to see if Thunder can hit, if she can. Thunder did hit twice by winning the Owen Hart, but now she's hoping she can rewrite history in All In by winning against Willow Nightingale. Willow became the champion by defeating Tekla at Redemption in an emotional, hard-hitting title change for her. My opinion, honestly, and this is me, I think Tekla should have been in this match. She should have gone against Mercedes Moné. I think Tekla has been did very well as a champion, but I guess for Tony Khan, this will sell more seats. And I get it. If that's what they're trying to go for more seat selling, oh well. But on Dynamite on August 19, Willow and Mercedes entered a heated sit-down interview. Then they tracked each other into the arena. Security could not control the brawl between them. That same night, Maya World retained the TBS championship in a fatal 4-way. Willow then honored an earlier promise by granting Maya the first Women's World Championship opportunity. And then what happened on Collision on August 22nd, 8 days before All In, Willow faced TBS champion Maya World. This happened last night. Willow won with a backslide. No soft rest week for her. No protected walkthrough. The champion accepted another difficult match on the road to Wembley. Now, I gave it the rating of 4.5 out of 5 because of this simple thing. Champion versus top challenger energy. An Owen Cup title opportunity. A fresh championship reign coming out of Redemption. Live heat from the Dynamite Brawl. And a champion still accepting hard booking 8 days before the stadium show. It misses obviously 5.5 only because it sits beneath a once-in-a-career hometown world championship main event moment for Will Ospreay. But the expected quality is elite still. The mythology sits one step beneath Omega and Ospreay. So chat, you can drop your thoughts on that one, but it is going to be the favorite for women's match of the night. If the main event delivers the myth, this match can prove the women's division belongs on the same poster. Kevin Knight, the TNT champion versus former AEW champion Darby Allin in a Falls Count Anywhere match for the title. My score for this is 4 out of 5. This story is personal. Knight's rise connects directly to Darby's World Championship disappointment following Double or Nothing. Knight challenged Omega at Redemption and lost, then continued moving deeper into the hardcore lane. AEW officially added Falls Count Anywhere during the middle of August. On Dynamite on August 19th, Knight sent Darby out on a stretcher. The build also included the Pyro Scare beat involving Darby. The hardcore presentation moved into full stadium mode. Then, on Collision last night, AEW presented a medical update. Darby's public message during the build was direct. No more sneak attacks. He wants Kevin Knight at his best. Wembley is not a television studio. Falls Count Anywhere inside a football cathedral means steel, concrete, concourses, and the crowd itself becoming part of the environment. Now, why did I give it that grade? A personal grudge, a hardcore stipulation, and Wembley Stadium functioning as a weapon. This match has the highest chaos ceiling on the card. The stretcher angle and the medical updates sold the danger. It misses because Falls Count Anywhere can become match of the night or become really messy. And personally, I know where this is leading to, and I'm not going to be a big fan of the heavy gruesomeness. I know a lot of AEW fans are into that. I'm okay with it up to a certain degree, but I know because of the level, it's probably going to go crazy. It might become a little messy too. But it doesn't mean it'll be that's a bad thing. But we will see. To me, it is a less guaranteed to become a classic than the highest ranked pure wrestling matches. So that's my thoughts, and you guys are also welcome to let me know in the comments your thoughts as well. But I will say, it is the wild card match of the night. Expect AEW to use the building as a prop throughout this whole thing. Here we go. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, the World Tag Team Champions versus the Young Bucks. 4 out of 5. Here's how we got here when it comes to this match. Copeland and Christian retained the World Tag Team Championship at Redemption a few weeks ago against the Death Riders Pac and Claudio Castagnoli. That same night, the Young Bucks defeated Ospreay and Jon Moxley. Then came the stare down between these two groups. The match practically wrote itself. This is the dream match that years of internet brackets promised. The lineage of Edge and Christian against the tag team identity of the Young Bucks. This was not a final week rush job. Collision confirmed the London match during the middle of August. Now, what is it? Nostalgia capable of working 15 difficult minutes? Sure. What it is not. The match that completely redraws AEW's map the following week. Now, I gave it the rating that I did because of this. True dream match names, great. A clean path from Redemption to Wembley, great. And the cornerstone tag match every stadium card needs. It stops at 4 because nostalgia carries more of the sales pitch than fresh blood feud urgency. Again, my opinion. You guys are welcome to let me know. To me, this is a match for the card, but it's not the match of the card. But every WrestleMania style or all-in style stadium level type of big event needs a match like this. Remove it and the entire show feels a little thinner. So this is a necessary match, but it's not the match. It might be for true tag team enthusiasts though. It definitely is. Next match we're talking about is Hangman Page and Brodito, which is the team of Bandito and Brody King, the AEW Trios champions. They have an open challenge. Now, this is the one I'm going to have a provisional score of 4 out of 5. Hangman, Bandito, and Brody King hold the Trios championship and issue an open challenge for Wembley on Dynamite. Now, if you guys recall, Swerve Strickland responded on camera. Did I hear you say anyone? Don't say it if you don't mean it. Now, when he says that, of course, that line fueled every free agent rumor on the internet, including the Kofi and Austin Creed speculation. And if you haven't checked out my video on the New Day, please check it out on the channel. few weeks ago, this blew up the internet. But as always, of course, none of that was confirmed as of this week of who potentially could be their team. Now, if Swerve comes in with the New Day, expect the stadium to pop. It's gonna go crazy, and unfortunately, we cannot present rumors as book matches, but we can all heavily speculate that obviously, knowing Tony Khan, this is where we're leading to. Now, does that mean it's a one and done, or we have a final signing? Expect a big signing to show up at All In. It usually always, for the most part, in the past history, it always does. You always have a big signing showing up at All In. So this year could definitely mean that New Day is showing up. And this is the match they'll show up in with Swerve Strickland. Now on Collision, separately about the Swerve side, on Collision on August 22nd, the Dogs also declared for Wembley. Multiple teams are circling one open contract. The score remains capped until the names become official. The potential for chaos is real. And if the answer somehow carries Hangman versus Swerve gravity, the ceiling becomes nuclear. Now, the reason I score it 4 out of 5 is because it's a provisional score. Number one, we have some strong champions. We have an open challenge type of drama. We have the Swerves anyone line that's blowing up the internet, and the Dogs entering the conversation as well. The mystery raises the ceiling. The missing opponents prevent a higher floor. But let me know, you guys, in the chat. What do you guys think? Even if it's revealed to be the New Day, do you think it will be a 5 out of 5? Even so, I still think it's 4 out of 5. It is a pop moment, but I don't think it's going to be the match of the night. But until then, this is a premium mid-card oxygen match type, not the poster match. It's probably going to be sitting right in the middle of the card. At least that's what I think. 21 men's casino gauntlet match, with the winner receives a future AEW Championship match. 4 out of 5. The future World Championship picture is contained inside one match. Here's so far the confirmed structure on this broad check. We have involved in this match Andrade El Idolo, which is probably one of the biggest stories for this match. He earned the position by winning the 3-way against Tommaso Ciampa and Commander during the Grand Slam in Mexico show. Number 2, we have MJF, who MJF attacked Andrade following that match and secured the second entry. Tommaso Ciampa and Commander also declared for the Gauntlet, even though they went against Andrade, which is a weird storytelling, but whatever, we're rolling to it. We need 21 men to fill this match. So honestly, they didn't need to have that match with Andrade, but I guess they needed to do it just for storytelling purposes. But anyway, on Collision last night, Ciampa and Nick Wayne defeated Commander and Speedball Mike Bailey in a Gauntlet preview tag match. Bailey remained firmly connected to the field. The field is still filling in as of today. Now, the star power is already present. The incomplete lineup prevents a 5. Now, the reason I rated it as such, the stakes are enormous, right? The match creates the next World Championship story coming in. Andrade enters first, MJF enters second. You're going to have a big moment between those two. You have Ciampa, Commander, and Bailey also involved. It stops at 4 because the lineup remains incomplete, and the quality will depend heavily on the draw and surprise entrance. Excellent story potential though. Less certainly as a guaranteed classic though. Let me know in chat what you think. What are you most excited and who you hope to see at the 21 Gauntlet match besides the men I already talked about? Who else do you expect? And who do you think is going to win it if you guys want to go that route? The Continental Challenge Cup final for the Continental Championship. It's a provisionary score because we still don't know how the final opponents. It's 3.5 out of 5. This tournament creates a championship match at Wembley. As of Collision this last night, the finalists were not set. The semifinals take place on Dynamite this coming week in Glasgow on Wednesday, August 26th. So far, we have Jon Moxley, the Continental Champion, facing against Claudio Castagnoli for one of the final spots at Wembley. And then Death Rider, it's basically a Death Rider versus Death Rider match. Then on the other side of the bracket, we have Kyle O'Reilly versus Nigel McGuinness. Here's the path into the semifinals. Moxley defeated Jay White, right? Then O'Reilly forced Orange Cassidy to tap following the events of the internal conglomeration conflict, and Claudio defeated Daniel Garcia in another Death Riders battle. A United Kingdom crowd with Nigel McGuinness in a Continental Championship final becomes a very different animal from a random television title match. But we do not push the meter higher until the names are official. Honestly, we can probably most likely see Nigel show up in some shape or form because it is his home country. But for now, the provisional meter is 3.5 out of 5. And the reason why: we got a tournament pedigree, we got strong semifinal paths, we have Moxley versus Claudio, O'Reilly versus Nigel, and the emotional upside of a British crowd supporting McGuinness. It remains at 3 out of 5 because a match without confirmed finalists cannot receive a full score. But it is an exciting time. You're going to have the crowd backing whoever they want to favor. If it goes the Nigel McGuinness route, expect the crowd fully supporting him against whoever wins between Jon Moxley and Claudio. It's weird that the current Continental Champion has to go through this route. He should be the one waiting at the finals. But maybe we are going to get that. It's just maybe they just wanted to give a reason for Jon Moxley to do work. But maybe we'll talk about this in a short after Glasgow's Dynamite. But anyway, is this the one? It could jump dramatically as a big moment, a big top match of the card, depending on the finalist. The floor remains lower because of the placeholder for now. Find Dominion, the AEW's Women's Tag Team Champions versus the Brawling Birds. Megan Bayne and Lena Cross against Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor. 3 out of 5. How we got here. Divine Dominion, Megan Bayne and Lena Cross have held the Women's Tag Team Championship since the spring. Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor, the Brawling Birds, earned the All In opportunity. A Mick Foley segment during the Redemption Cycle directed them towards the championship. On Collision last night, Divine Dominion defeated Tiara James and Erica Lay in a 5-minute eliminator. Then the champions delivered their message directly to the Birds on camera. The wrestlers are good, the strikes will be real, but the long-form story has less oxygen than Willow versus Mercedes on a 9-match stadium card. This is an honest score, not an insult. But the reason it's a 3 out of 5, good wrestlers, physical styles, a clean challenger path from the Foley segment into the title match, and a final Collision eliminator with a direct promo. This receives the lowest score because it has, honestly, the thinnest story oxygen on the card. It is a stabilizing stadium match, not the match moving the company's needle. Chat, give it an honest score if you don't agree with me. But honestly, do you really think this will be a big match? I don't think so. It does carry an opener type of energy, like it could be one of the early matches of the card, but even so, do not underestimate Jamie Hayter's striking in a stadium that loud. Here's the full ranking from top to bottom to go over. Omega versus Ospreay, 5 out of 5. Hometown Dream main event, real heat, stadium myth, nothing else clears all 3. Number 2, Fletcher versus Takeshita versus Okada for the International Championship. This one, 3 elite styles, family fracture, work rate threat. Not the poster match, but still one of the top ones there. Willow versus Mercedes for the Women's Championship. This one has champion versus top challenger, live heat, elite quality status, mythology, one step beneath the main event. Then we have Kevin Knight versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship in a falls count anywhere. It's going to be grudge. Stipulation, Wembley as a weapon, the largest chaos ceiling with the less certainty of a classic. Then we have at number 5, Copeland and Christian versus the Young Bucks for the World Tag Team Championship. Dream match names, a cornerstone tag team, not a match that redraws the following week though, but it's definitely one of the big matches all tag team enthusiasts are waiting for. Then Hangman and Brodito in the Trios Championship Open Challenge. Strong champions, a little mystery in terms of the oxygen because we don't know who their opponents will be, but I'm sure we're seeing Swerve and New Day unless they don't, and then the fans get pissed because they all thought this was going to happen. It's kind of like, oh, what are we going to do? Anyway, the Men's Casino Gauntlet for a future World Championship match. A lot of stakes involved. So far, a lot of star power already included. but the field is still filling in, and we may get some surprises in this match that we weren't expecting. Then we got the Continental Challenge Cup final, real pedigree. Finalists still not determined, but it's so far 4 heavy contenders that can make this a great match. Then we have Divine Dominion versus the Brawling Birds for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Good wrestlers, but the thinnest story on the stadium card. The card average so far, we are looking at a 4 out of 5 event. In my opinion, an elite top 4, real depth, and 2 major elements still fluid. We have trio challengers and the Continental finalists. That will get developed in the go-home week, and hopefully we will know where it leads to. Now, when people compare this to WrestleMania or big events like WrestleMania, like even Wrestle Kingdom, these type of big events contain 3 main elements that make a big event, a yearly promotion big event, worth it. Number 1 is the stadium mythology. Wembley is the mythology. Number 2, a dream main event. Omega versus Ospreay in Ospreay's home country is the dream. And then number 3, a card that feels like an entire year has paid off. We have, for some of the storylines, we have the Owen Cup winners, we have the Redemption Fallout, we have the Callis family Civil War, we have Darby's revenge story, and we have the Young Bucks against the Copeland and Christian in a dream tag team match. And then we have the Continental tournament leading into the stadium. What remains beneath peak WrestleMania level, parts of the undercard are not fully name locked yet, and the Continental final remains 1 Dynamite away. So for me, All In feels like AEW's WrestleMania weekend. We obviously all knew that, but so far it shows it. Now people are upset about how we got here in terms of storytelling, how the story got pushed. It wasn't so great. What can I say? But the quality matches will be good. And as always, you guys know AEW always delivers in their PLE events. So it's always going to be a positive for the PLEs, but how we get here is hard. And hopefully me talking about it maybe gives you a little hope that maybe it did get developed well. And if it didn't, I apologize if I didn't do a great job. Maybe I'll do better next time. But regardless, I think we had a decent lead through. Hopefully they get better over the years. We need to get better. Otherwise, interest will get lost. And it is what it is. But anyway, whether the show becomes AEW's greatest yet depends on the pacing and whether Omega versus Ospreay receives the time and finish it deserves. But anyway, drop your thoughts in the comment. Tell me where you disagree or agree, especially between the numbers 2 and 4. And answer the final question. Does All In feel like AEW's version of WrestleMania, or does it yes or no? And tell me why. And if, as always, if the T hit right, hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.